At Tesla, we don't make slow cars. Okay, do you want to see the car? Yeah! Well, we don't have it for you tonight.
A regular day for you. Are you sleeping? You're not sleeping a lot, right?
Oh, geez, do I look that bad?
No.
Earlier in this conversation, we don't want to do business with jerks.
Who does?
Right.
The Model X is now over 2 years late. What went wrong?
Well, I do have an issue with punctuality, I have to admit.
Finally, you're obviously a very competitive person. You're competing with the likes of Jeff Bezos in...
Jeff who?
Well, this is really winning.
That really looks like the thing that jacks into the back of Neo's head in The Matrix.
Right.
All right? Is that thing going to attack me in my sleep?
Well, I wouldn't, for the prototype at least, I would recommend not dropping anything when you're near it.
You're talking about a humans on this rocket going to Mars?
Sure, yeah.
So, are there any dangers? I have read that there are radiation.
Are there dangers?
What could possibly go wrong? That's ridiculous. Come on. You could power the entire United States with about, let's say, 150 to 200 square kilometers of solar panels. The entire United States. Take a corner of Utah. Not much going on there. I've been there. Frankly, we're going to be in production hell. Welcome. Welcome to production hell. I think the car is really safe unless you drive it off a cliff, and then somebody drove it off a cliff. Fine.
Thank you for anyone who's bought our flamethrower. You will not be sorry, or maybe you will. It won't be boring.
Hi, Elon. I'm John Younger, and I have to say...
Pour some more wine here.
Absolutely.
I'm telling you, this is going to get better and better as
It is.
The system is fully capable of carrying biological cargo, which is, people.
I would just like to keep working on my email as I'm driving to work.
Sure.
There's a 30,
Some people do that already.
That picture at the end is a picture of one of the circuit boards inside the Roadster, right?
We try to confuse the aliens as much as possible. Like, first launched like a 747 or DC-3 or something like that. I bet the chief engineer was like, I can't believe that thing's flying.
The issue with existing batteries is that they suck, okay? They're really horrible.
A construction company, I think it's Obayashi, just announced plans to make a space elevator by, I think, 2050. And I'm wondering if SpaceX has a response.
I say, bravo. Oh my God. Well, maybe that was a little too hard.
Everyone in this room is inspired by you. Who are you inspired by?
Well, Kanye West, obviously. That's what you said.
But I understand when you got it,
Yeah.
you're driving down 280, and you wrecked it.
No, well...
And let me just tell the story, and then you can correct
all
it. Because the story's great, and I hope it's
yeah,
true.
let's see if the story that you tell is actually, how that compares to the reality, because the reality is pretty messed up.
So, hopefully the reality's better. So you wreck the car, you get out of the car, you're doubling over with laughter, and the person with you said, why are you laughing that you just wrecked this car? And you said, no, you don't know the funny part. It wasn't insured.
Well, the punchline's correct. I'm probably number one on the list of famous last words. I said, watch this. Yeah, watch this. That could be awkward with a rocket launch.
Is there a parallel with how you build companies in that story?
I hope not.
Let's see what this thing can do.
Yeah, watch this. That could be awkward with a rocket launch.
A quote from one of your former employees, which I thought really summed up a lot of what you have achieved. He said, he is Werner Braun Braun, Howard Hughes, Henry Ford, Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, and every other badass rolled into one. Yeah, that's probably a bit generous.
How do you plan a business where you know, the rocket business, you know some of these things are going to blow up on the launch pad? How does the business plan work?
I don't really have a business plan.
Mars. What kind of government do you envision for the first Martian colony?
We're have to be
And
careful
what's your title?
Yeah, exactly. Emperor or God Emperor? I don't know. It might be too much. I don't know. You have to watch my jokes here. Not everyone gets irony. You know, must remember.
When people have tried to make a reusable system, they found that they would get some portion of the way and then conclude that success was not one of the possible outcomes. In government programs, of course, the program would still continue for quite some time.
Any natural resource extraction on Mars would be, the output would be for Mars. Like, it definitely wouldn't make sense to transport stuff 200 million miles back to Earth. Honestly, like if you had like crack cocaine on Mars, like in pre-packaged, pallets, it still wouldn't make sense to transport it back here. Maybe good times for the Martians, but not back here.
There's competitors now ramping up, and as you're familiar with BYD, which is also on the West Coast, I think they're ramping up production of their electric vehicles. Warren Buffett owns 10% stake in that. Why do you laugh? BYD is trying to compete. Why do you laugh?
Have you seen their car?
What would be your mediocre superpower? Now, this is absurd to ask you because Tony Stark is partially modeled after you.
Right.
So you actually are sort of have real. So we were asking you to downgrade.
He doesn't technically have a superpower. I guess, except like inventing technology or something.
Right. So we're sort of asking you to downgrade from that a bit. So an example of a mediocre superpower would be one of the best ones we've ever gotten is this guy who wished to temporarily detach his arm while spooning with a girl. Sometimes it's staying.
That's what he wants to do with a girl?
That's awesome.
Talking about the concept, tunnels feel like a resolutely old school solution to a problem.
I'm sad that I invented tunnels.
Are you now like, fuck no, I am not starting another company? Are you still thinking that?
Yes, that's how I feel. That is.
Here we are on top of our giant ball of liquid oxygen. They say SpaceX has big balls, and it's... Actually met a woman I dated briefly in college who now works at Scientific American as a writer, and she related the anecdote that we went on a date. All I was talking about was electric cars. That was not a winning conversation.
So it was a bit of a monologue, was it?
Yeah, she said she said the first question I asked her was, "Do you ever think about electric cars?" She said, no, she never does.
So you learn from that. That wasn't the best shout-out line.
Wasn't great. But it has recently it's been more effective.
There you go. I know this man.
Actually, you know what's great is the Lego Movie. I really like the Lego Movie. It's really great.
Okay, I know what the headline tomorrow's now going to be.
Everything is awesome.
小学生でも笑わない熊田のバカウケ。レジェンドさすがです。
Our own U.S. Air Force is funding the Russians to compete against us. It's super messed up. I mean, what the,
Wait, don't go in that way. Don't go in that way. Go away from me.
This is crazy.
Go away from me.
Okay. Oh, Jesus, sorry. Speaking of mishaps, I just stabbed you. Sleep is really great, because I find if I don't get enough sleep, then I'm quite grumpy.
Wait, Elon, what if I have a hard time getting a good night's sleep? What if it takes me a long time to fall asleep?
If you find it difficult to sleep well at night, try playing some calming music before bed. It can make a big difference. In this video, you will find relaxing music that will help you sleep at night.